Hello, everybody. Thank you very much for your patience there. So this is going to be a one-shot adventure with a couple familiar faces. We have Adam and Nick.
Yeah. Hello.
Hi. So we're introducing a couple new characters. I wanted to run this one-shot adventure. That way we could jumpstart their characters. They're going to be joining in with our typical every other Sunday campaign, Land of Dreams and Nightmares, which has been going for a while. So I think it's a good idea to get a little bit of energy going with these two newcomers before they join in with the other characters who have been around for a bit of time. So why don't you both just briefly say the name of your character in the class and maybe give us one detail about him. Just a quick little intro.
So, I'm Adam, and as of today, I will no longer be playing Kivish the Dwarf. I'm now playing Carderock Hawkness of Rockness, who's actually from Sumner Field. He is a human. He is a multi-class, I know. He's a bard / paladin, and he's a knight.
And Nick?
So I'm playing, and again, I'm playing an arcane trickster. The character's name is Robin. I am a half-elf, and I'm basically just a ruffian and outlander. I like to steal things and get treasure. I also sort of know who Harley is, my other character who died. So my character knows who he is. Not necessarily friends, not necessarily enemies, just sort of know.
You've heard tales of him.
Yes.
Another wanderer, treasure seeker, and trouble into getter.
Yes.
I'm
the better rogue, though.
Yeah. So you two, you know each other. What do we think? Are you all close friends? Are you merely traveling companions? Is it a business arrangement? Like one, perhaps Carderock has hired the other as a burglar and scout. What sort of arrangement do you all have?
So where geographically is this taking place?
We are starting in Sumner Field.
All right.
But just starting there. Sumner Field, for all those who are listening, Sumner Field is a city. It's technically the only city in the land of Dreckengrim, as the old capital, the old big city, was laid to waste in the War of Three Dooms. But this was a couple generations back. So Sumner Field is a city. It's not a city, but it's a city, and it is the seat of governing power, a human majority city. The Royal House Rodvin has been the authority there for some time, and there's a bit of connection between Carderock's house, as you're a minor noble house beholden to House Rodvin.
Yeah, they're barely a noble house. It's really just his father, who was a master mason who built castles and was ennobled for his work, and Card, who's his son, who is going out to try and win the kind of money that might help them build a castle of their own.
So you're a knight errant.
Yes.
Yeah, you're not the staple cavalier in service to the Lord of Sumner Field, but you are a questing and courageous fellow.
And knowing what I do about various ideas, I think I might know how these two characters came together. So Card has just gotten back to town after traveling for a time with a clan of migrating dwarves on their way south. He learned quite some interesting stories during that time, and in particular, heard an interesting name. There's some guy named Noxaqual who's supposed to be I don't know. He's got a ship. People around him seem to make money, so that sounds like something that Card wants to be a part of as soon as possible.
It seems that his crew is known for bold voyaging.
Anybody in the nearest alehouse who's willing to follow him is more than happy to have them along.
So what do you think then, Robin? Have you recently met Carderock and you find that the direction he's heading in also suits your interests? It sounds like he's not a lifelong friend of yours.
Yeah, no, not a lifelong, but I think that would probably suit my interest to also seek out Noxqual, because it does seem like Adam was saying or Carderock was saying that lots of money involved, lots of treasure, which is something that Robin definitely is inclined to gain as well. And also just exploring and adventuring. Just as a rogue, I enjoy just searching into the unknown and finding any little trinkets that I can that assist me in stealing more trinkets.
Okay, so you all have roughly aligned directions, and it's a better idea to travel in numbers, as it can be a dangerous world out there. So we're going to do an adventure here, and I'm going to just let the exact timeline of this be a bit fuzzy. It's something that I don't know if it's happening literally right now at the current day of the ongoing campaign, or maybe it's just something that recently happened. It's certainly current. Okay, so we'll start off with a quick scene within the manor home of House Hawkness. Both of you are there. You are in the hearth chamber. The fire is roaring. You've just eaten with the family here, with Carderock's family. They were hospitable to you, Robin, though they don't quite know you, but they were hospitable. And things have settled down. The evening has worn on. So in this scene, it's really just the master, the Galrock Hawkness, the father of Carderock, the master of the manor. He is speaking with the two of you alone. The servants have pretty much cleared away the last of the feast table. The fire has freshly been stoked with logs. A cold, late autumn wind is howling at the shutters. There's a bearskin rug on the floor. A few trappings and furnishings that are befitting of a family that has an amount of wealth. They're certainly not serfs by any means. All right, so this is Galrock. This is Carderock's father that's speaking here. So, finally, we get a bit of time for us to just speak of that news that I mentioned to you. Do you need some more ale, Robin?
Oh, yes, please. And I give him my drink to get some more ale.
A serving boy fills up your cup, and Galrock says, "That will be all, Sten. Please, I wish to speak with my son and his companion."
I take some more drinks of my cup.
Card. You have made me proud. Your recent exploits, though many of them criticize them, particularly for associating with this one here, Robin, or otherwise known as that ruffian he. But I think you have proven yourself a capable fellow, and your companion, well, it is good to have a keen scout at your side, maybe at your front.
I give him a nice wink.
I draw out my sword and hold it in front of me and say, "Aye, yes. I desire nothing more than to be worthy of this, such gift that you would give to me on my travels." And he sheathes it. I would not, in fact, no, wait, no, that's way too slow. He talks faster than Kivish. Yeah, gotta remind myself of that. "And I would not do anything if I were to bring dishonor to it. So, believe you me, I trust this one as much as I can. I am sure of that. I am sure of that."
Good. I paid a pretty penny to get it polished up and fixed. It's in a much better condition than your grandfather gave it to me, all dinged and bent out of shape.
"Well, for a Jugendsprause piece, I'm surprised that it was not pristine, but I see that it was used, and that is good. A sword that is used is a sword that is good."
Oh, he used it a lot. Got himself killed using it. Anyhow, I had mentioned to you some further dealings with Lord Rodvin. He's demanding breaking my back. Yes, the Summer Tower was a great success. He paid me well. Tonight is evidence of that. But it seems I did too well. He wants not one, not two, but 3 new towers constructed, and in short measure.
And have you told him that all the builders of Rockness have been dead for some 1,000 years or so?
Oh, he knows bloody well about that.
Hmm.
He has concerns. Of course, we all have concerns. There's the threat from the north. Yeah, the Mare Queen and her lot. Robin, do you know of this?
Yes, I've definitely heard of the Mirror Queen, and if they want you to build all these towers, can you not just decline the offer? This is something that you must do.
Ha! I could sooner decline my own living.
I see the predicament you're in.
Look, but it's not just to the north that he has concern. There's talk of pirate activity along the coastal waters. So he wants 3, I say. 1 being to the north, right by the bridge, northwest of Litchfield and Crocus League. I'll pull up a map here so we can get a reference for everybody, and you guys as well. Here we are. Okay, so he just referenced an area that we actually saw in the very first session of the campaign.
Way back. Yep.
Yep. Okay. One of which being near the bridge here, northwest of Litchfield, to aid in the soldiers of Strang's Keep and maybe the Silver Citadel, if they ever deign to come down so far south as to cross the Elder River. But still, a watch post against, well, that damned host of undead spirits and fiends crawled up from the underworld, summoned from the Shadowfell. So this is where he wants to rise up another stone eye, set another squad of men. The other 2, well, he fears that the pirates are no more merely a menace of coastal raiding, but they've set their eyes on a riper fruit. So he wants 1 there south of Bliskmill, just on the other side of the Rosby's River, and the other would be on the peninsula, the tip far east of Grenadoa. Aye, known grounds, the Levin Gouger, that fell crew who sail brazenly. So, I've been racking my brain. This seems an impossible request in the amount of time that he wants it completed. However, there is a possible solution. There is an old quarry there on the peninsula east of Grenadoa. It has not been in use for some time. It went out of use after the war, the Great War. And he speaks here of the Great War of Drekengrim, the War of 3 Dooms that happened, some 80 years past the war, essentially, of the Mer Queen. And there was a number of terrible disasters and catastrophes, and particularly 3 terrible tragedies that occurred during this time. So he goes on to explain that this old granite quarry has not seen use, but if you all could secure it, then that would be a very expedient way of constructing said tower in that location.
Aye, the old quarry. You yourself told me of it. Not used for a while. But yes, stone within, good for 3 ring forts, or proper mottes. We might just do it, and our house may be even greater for it.
Well, it seems we have a choice. Fail and go the way of all those forgotten, cold-boned failures, or we can bust our balls and break our backs and rise up to kiss the feet of the nobility.
Well, Father, you yourself have told me that to fail is not a choice. It is not a choice to fail.
That's not what I said. I said it's not an option.
Choice, option.
He takes a nice big chug off of his cup.
I drink some more of mine. Don't worry. I tend to try and not fail at the tasks at hand.
Very good. I've kept an eye on you, Robin. I've heard talk of your sticky fingers.
Not
and
quite
your
sticky
brother,
indeed.
thieving Theodore.
Yes, Theodore was a kind soul, but he got caught a couple weeks back, unfortunately. Don't worry, that won't happen to me. I'm much better. I mean, you might even find a couple missing trinkets in your own house. I give him a wink.
Well, let's hope that I don't, for your sake. So, that's that. Unless you all have any particular qualms, Carderock's father has laid upon his son this responsibility of securing Granite Grotto.
I mean, he eagerly and wholeheartedly accepts, and looks over at his new acquaintance and says, "If you are up to this task, I can ensure that you, as well as my family and kin, shall be enshrined in stone and surfeited on a never-ending supply of the finest food and drink in the land, and never want for anything. And should we fail, well, I shall see you in the Hall of the Gods."
Hey, I think I like those odds. I think I like the not failing more though, and I drink some of my drink.
I will chisel your likeness out of a rock. Then my blessings are with you, my son. You do me proud.
And he does whatever the traditional salute of the area is. I hadn't thought that far ahead.
All right. Well, he gives you a firm embrace, and to Robin here, he gives him a hearty swat on the shoulder. All right. Anything you all would like to do before departing on this task?
Yeah, I'd like to visit the Temple of Morpheus in Sumner Field.
Okay.
The temple.
Are you going there for prayer, for sacrifice, or just for a moment of calm and quiet?
A little bit of all of the above. He's also an appointed protector of the temple, so he's wanting to let the abbess know that he'll be gone for a while.
Okay. You have your personal moment there. Perhaps offer up a minor sacrifice of a dove or something of immediate means. The temple keeper there is a tired, old, forgetful fellow, and he's just kind of like bumbled. "Oh, yes, do take care of yourself."
Yeah, he'll anoint the blade of his sword with holy oils and get ready, and then
May Morpheus bring you solace when your road has wearied you, and thorns have pricked you, and rocks have tarried your feet from the long trek.
Yes, I appreciate the thought, and I'm going to drink a little more out of some of the ale I brought back with me.
I see you know the ambrosia of the Lord of Healing.
Yes, it's very, very good. Keeps me up at night.
That's about all we have in days such as these. He lifts a shaky hand and takes a little swig off of a little wineskin thing that he keeps under his robe.
When I see him do that, I drink some more.
The temple here is really not in great condition. Not a lot of people visit it. It's a bit of a uh, forsaken and cobwebbed type temple, not a roaring, thronging temple.
When I see that, I look at Cad and I say, "Do you think that you should leave some offerings for this? Some
Yes.
donations?"
I have seen in my dreams that I have won wealth, and when I have made them true, I shall return, and this place shall be grand, shall be resplendent in cloth of gold, and the priests shall want for nothing.
I like it. Do you think I could get some of that swath of gold as well? I'd always like to line my pockets with some gold.
A true lord and knight provides for those in his care and employ. None around him shall go hungry or fear for lack of roof above their head.
I like the way you think, and I'm glad I'm your companion.
Excellent. So, with the blessings of the Temple of Morpheus, reduced though it may be in this grim era, you all embark southwards. I'll pull the map back up for you all. Okay. It's not any. It's not a long trek. It's not anything that's grueling. It's basically a stint down the southern stretch of the Starfall Road. You actually do pass by a different quarry pretty close to Sumner Field, and then you go past farther, and then you trek out here into it's a rolling plain, grassland. It's fairly cold this time of year, so you've bundled yourselves up, and there's a chilly wind, and there's always that sort of hint on the air that maybe it could snow at any moment. Just a gray and windswept trek for a couple of days through a rolling plains area. Sometimes you'll hear the menacing howl of wolves in the distance. You come across what appears to be the remnants of like a little bandit camp, but it looks like they took off some time back. And then on the morning of the third day, you have in sight this quarry. Now, of course, you can wait. You can enter it under the cover of darkness if you want later. So that's all up to you. But this is just when you are arriving at the location.
Now,
so it's in about this area here. We'll put it about there. It's pretty close to where this tower is supposed to be constructed. And from a distance, from about a mile, maybe even a couple miles away, you can see it. And what it looks like to you is a big collection of rock, boulders, some like standing rock, tall ones. There's a section that looks like maybe it's a rocky tor or maybe a cave. But yeah, that's the general look of it. You don't see anything manufactured. You don't see any structures. You don't see any people. It just looks like a mound of rocks.
Now, even south of Sumner Field, is that still the Starfall Road that we took to get here?
I do believe so. If I'm not lying to myself, yes.
Well, so then Card is definitely, intoning along the way. A star's fall, a long and weary road. Along your path the dice you've cast, your potent portents forebode. Which is a verse from a song called A Star's Fall, which is a tune about the meeting of strangers and fey creatures along the Starfall Road. Although he's probably stopped singing by the time they're actually looking at the rocks.
A traditional song, singing of the nostalgia of the grandeur of Drekengrim, perhaps a touch of melancholy, for it is a waning year that we now find ourselves in. Okay, so let me know what's your approach, what's your plan here?
So yeah, there's just rocks, sort of almost like a hill or a cairn made out of rocks, or I think a hummock would be the correct term for that. And like a cave somewhere, entrance within that.
Mm-hmm. There
And we
must
need
be
to-
some
we need
manner
to
of entrance. Some of these stones are quite large. Some of them are
Right.
squat boulders that are just bulging out of the ground. Others are actual like surmounting standing bits. If you get a little closer, you might see indication that some of them have been not worked so much as parts removed off of them and perhaps hauled away in an earlier time.
Gotcha. And we needed to, if I remember correctly, we need to clear out the cave, I believe, because so we can actually
Yeah.
get access to these rocks.
Yes, Master Galrock Hockness has tasked his son with securing this location.
Okay. Oh well, Cad, do you think that maybe we should check out that cave and see if maybe they just left? Maybe they just left, and we can just not have to worry about any fighting.
Well, I don't know, Rob. You think we should maybe check out this cave that we were sent here to check out? Yes, I do believe so.
Hey, don't get that attitude with me, all right? I'm gonna go up to the cave and sort of stealthily go up to it and peer in a bit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you're definitely the stealthy one.
Yeah.
Okay, so Robin, you are approaching this great mound and collection of rocks, this essentially a tour of sorts, and you are going with quiet steps. There is a bit of brush here or there, but not a great deal of cover as you are in plain daylight. The wind is a bit howly, and it's certainly chilly, so there's that for what it's worth. Carderock, are you just standing like awaiting him to bring back a scouting report, or are you going with him?
He'll approach, but as Robin has implied that he was going to approach stealthily, Card will definitely wait a little bit behind because the jingling sleigh bells of his mail are not super conducive to stealth.
Should I roll for stealth, by the way, Esper?
Hold the actual roll, but we know that that's the that's the approach that you're taking.
Okay.
And so Carderock, you're not going with him, but you're. I'm sorry, I totally spaced out while I was opening up a document.
Oh.
Are you waiting, or are you just like he's staggered back?
Following him about halfway, but then waiting while he actually goes in somewhat stealthily.
Okay.
Since Card is wearing a bunch of armor that's kind of noisy.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Sorry about that. Definitely a moment of DM juggle many thoughts at once. Okay. So you stagger yourself back a good healthy distance and allow your more stealthy companion to approach. Okay. Robin, you are approaching boulders and large standing stones. There's also a bit of a rise amidst all of these rock formations. So looks like there's some kind of hill, maybe a cave. As you are approaching, you actually hear the sound of singing, and maybe for a moment you think like, Carderock, shut up, not now. But it's actually not Carderock's voice. You quickly realize it's coming from amongst these large stone formations ahead. And it's not Carderock's voice either. It's a different accent. It's a growly sort of voice.
Tom
How far away
waits.
is this? About how far away is this voice coming from?
You can hear it, we'll say maybe 80, 100 feet, some distance ahead of you.
But I can't actually see the.
You don't see it. It sounds like someone singing from amidst those rocks.
Okay, I'll try to.
In the window she sat weeping, and with each tear her life went seeping. Ah, he's singing Candle in the Window.
Oh.
Roll your stealth check, if you please.
This is when I rolled in that one. Nope, that's really good. That's 14. That's plus let's see. So my stealth is that's 6, 20, 25.
Quiet as a cat you are, and the fact that the wind is howling also aids you in this. You approach a bit closer, and a creature, a fantastic beast, comes into appearance. It partway leaps and partway flies, flapping wings, and it alights atop one of the tallest standing stones, where it looks like it has a nice perch to keep view over the entrance of this area. The creature has a lion-like body, large bat-like wings. It has a maned head, kind of humanoid-like, pretty humanoid-like the face, but a big maw with a lot of teeth. And the end of its tail, it's covered in a mass of spikes.
There's a chimera.
Come again?
A chimera, I think.
Manticore.
Manticore. That's right, manticore.
And it's singing. It's just singing to itself to amuse itself, and it's up there perched like a cat or a gargoyle might be.
And it's just this manticore. It's only the manticore.
You only see this manticore. Now, it's going to see you if you don't immediately act, because I'm
immediately hiding. Oh yeah, right when I notice it, just immediately hiding, and then I'm gonna like tell Card to sort of like stop, like hide, like give him the indication.
All right, so split decision here. There is some grasses, some like dry grasses blowing in the wind right next to you. Or you can try to like quickly dart ahead and get behind some of those boulders that are, part of the tour. So there is a question of immediate, but not so much cover, or a bit more of a risk, but you'd get behind like total cover.
I'll go for the immediate, but not as much cover. The immediate cover.
Okay. Make a stealth check with disadvantage.
That is a 14.
All right. The creature spots you as you tumble into the grassy stalks that are right next to you. And, the wind is blowing, so it's sort of half concealing you. And the thing ceases its singing, and it glares. Have you come to solve the riddle of me, Sphinx? Yeah.
Sphinx. Me. I'll sort of like get up a bit and put my hands on and be riddle. I was just looking around. I didn't even see you, actually. I heard some beautiful voice, and I thought I might come and see what it was.
You think me voice beautiful?
Yes, very. I'm sort of like hiding my disgust a little bit. The manticore, like, yes, very beautiful. You are fantastic and immaculate Sphinx.
Sphinx voice, no beautiful, terrify. He sees you too, Carderock.
And I look and I go, yes, terrifyingly beautiful.
You come, try solve me riddle.
Yes, actually, and I look at Card and I go, I believe that he is much more suited for these kinds of things.
He might be. There's a chance he might not know the riddle. But, yeah.
Carderock, you're a ways back. We'll say you're like, I'm going to roll 100 feet plus this times 10. You're 120 feet away from the Sphinx. And then, oh my gosh, Robin, new character names. Robin is like in between. He's like 60 feet away. Okay.
I'm going to sort of yell back to Card. I'm going to be like, Card, he wants you to answer a riddle.
Answer me riddle. Certain. Go
I am
in,
always one to
get
learn
treasure.
riddles. Well, the promise of treasure is not one I might ignore. And a riddle? Why, I was just thinking it was a perfect day for a riddle. I always like a good riddle. He's going to slowly, cautiously approach.
Yeah, as he gets closer to me, I'm going to say, Card, look, this is the beautifully terrifying Sphinx.
Ah, yes. The
Me
resemblance
name
is uncanny.
Lydian.
Wait, what?
Lydian?
Oh, it has a name?
He says his name is Yarlydian.
Oh, Yarlydian. Well, it's a
Carderock the Sphinx.
very nice to
Emphasis on the Jarl.
meet you. Very nice to meet you, Yarlydian.
Not nice. Terrify.
Very terrifying indeed. Very terrifying indeed.
He does a little, cat-like whipping of his tail, and he says, "My spike kill army goblin.
I bet
My
it does.
spike kill man. My spike kill elf. My spike kill whole world. Send to hell."
I'm trying to cover some of the chuckling. I'm gonna say, well, Yarlydian, what is the riddle that you have for us?
He actually sings the riddle to you all, and
All right.
yeah, it's got a couple lines to it, and it has a lilting yet somber tone to it. Where I got it here. Yeah, it has a lilting and somber tone to it. Wounded I am, wearied with fighting, gashed by iron, gored by the lance, battered and scarred, all fighting I see. He goes on like that, and it says, wounded I am, wearied with fighting, gashed by iron, gored by the lance, battered and scarred, all fighting I see. Offspring of hammers, child of the glade, the vanguard I bear, the doom and the shock. No salves nor leeches will bring me relief. And perhaps I should display that to you all.
Yeah, that would be nice to be able to read it. Yeah.
That I will. Okay.
Thank you, Sir Manticore, for writing down the riddle for us.
Don't call him that. He's a Sphinx.
Oh, Sphinx, sorry.
Okay.
Wearied with fighting, gashed by iron, gored by the lance, battered and scarred, all fighting I see, offspring of hammers, child of the glade, not blade. Okay. The vanguard I bear, the doom and the shock, no salves or leeches will bring me relief. Okay.
Gashed by iron, gored by the lance, battered and
Now, right off the bat, is this something Card has actually heard before? Because there probably is at least a chance of that.
It might be. Make a history check.
It's a good thing that I took proficiency in that and have special bardic things to it, because my wisdom otherwise, or rather intelligence, otherwise sucks. Cool. I rolled a 2, so I have an 8. So
You've never heard this before, or maybe you simply cannot remember.
All right.
Todd, do you happen to remember what this is?
Why, yes, that is an old one. It's one of the old ones, one of the oldest ones, in fact. There are not many riddles older than it in this entire land. And he continues on like that, stalling for time, whilst wink, nudge in Robin's direction, as if to say, no, can you help me?
I'm gonna sort of look a little weary-eyed. Have I possibly heard this before, Esper?
You can make a history check, or if you would just like to try to solve it, or maybe get a bit of a hint, make an investigation check. So it's your choice what approach you would like to take.
I think I'll take the investigation check.
Okay.
Oh boy. 12?
That's better than 8.
Yeah.
Sounds like he's talking about something involved with fighting.
Interesting.
You don't come up with any particular inkling from that train of thought.
I'm gonna look at the Sphinx. I'm gonna say, "Great Sphinx. Would you perhaps give us a hint, for we are simple minds, unlike the greatness of yours, and we may need.
And we tremble in your fear. And actually, with this, Card is going to touch the hilt of his sword, and channeling magical power through it as a spellcasting focus is going to cast Minor Illusion so that it appears as though he is wetting himself in fear and awe.
As he does that, could I do like perhaps like a performance check to like try and like make myself seem like I'm in a lot of fear as well?
Both of you make deception checks.
Oh, a deception check.
All right. Charisma skills. All right. Here we
go.
go.
I'm very good at this.
As am I.
I rolled a nat 1.
Okay. Well, I got a non-natural 20, so I think we might be covered. Hopefully.
If it wasn't a nat, if we include the numbers, it would still be a 12. But it is a nat 1.
You're even more deceptive than I am.
Oh yeah, I have I get a plus 11 to my deception.
Right. Well, that would make a 1 a 12, yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. No.
Wow, you have plus 11?
Oh, I'm sorry. No, deception would be plus 9 because I have expertise in deception with proficiency, so it doubles the proficiency plus my.
Right.
So it would be a 10 if it wasn't.
That's still plus 9, still pretty tremendous. Yeah, okay, so Carderock, what did you result with?
I rolled a 13, so 20 overall.
20. Okay. The Sphinx he takes offense by this performance, this attempt to manipulate him, and he says, "You offend me," and he flings his spikes. Roll for initiative. You don't have to fight him if you don't want to, but this is still what he's trying to do.
Okay. Let's see how this shakes out.
I got a 16.
I have a 15, actually.
Aha.
Yeah.
What range are we from him right now?
You're 60 feet away, and Carderock is 120 feet away. Or Card, did you approach, or did you stay where you were?
Closer,
yeah.
Did you approach? Okay, so you guys are both 60 feet away.
Yeah.
Okay. And we're like next to each other?
Yeah, more or less. All right. So Robin, you see these tail spikes about to be slung in your direction. What do you do?
Jump out of the way. If I can. Can I try and like
so a dodge action?
Yeah.
Yeah. Are you running away, or are you just staying where you are and trying to evade?
I'll try. I'm gonna try and are those boulders next, like close by?
You could get to them with one move.
Yeah, I'll do that. I'll like try and like dodge and run to the boulders for like cover.
And you are a rogue, so you have cunning action, yeah?
Yes. So I guess my
so you can actually spend your action on dodge, and then your speed gets you into like basically full cover unless the thing moves. And then you'll still have your cunning action. I don't know what you could maybe hide with that.
That's what to say. Can I use the cunning action to attempt to hide from?
There you go. Okay, make a stealth check. See if you can get into like a nook or a cranny.
Okay. No, nat 1. Not a nat 1. That is just a stealth. So that's 5, 6, 11. That's a 23.
Okay. So assuming you're okay with doing that, you kind of shimmy your way in between some boulders. Okay.
For hidden.
The manticore slings his spikes. Robin like darts out of the way, and he's shimmying his way into some rock formation. So they rain down upon Carderock.
Yeah, as I'm doing this, we'll say, Carderock, do what I do.
All right. So here are some 2 hits versus Carderock. We got 14, 22.
That will.
And 19.
The second 2 will.
Okay.
He is currently, for now, 18, even with his shield. Which will be no doubt raised.
Okay. You suffer some piercing damage. 11 piercing.
All right.
And I believe I'm hidden, correct? No, or
Yeah, you were hidden. He'd have to exceed your stealth with a perception check.
okay.
You got 21, right?
23.
23. Okay. Makes sense. Yeah, try to make a note of the stealth. Actually, what was I going to say? A lot of times I don't even ask for the stealth check until it like comes to the moment that it might see you, but whatever.
Gotcha, okay.
It all pans out anyways.
Right.
So what did we have? He slung some stones. He's like roaring up the roar! Fresh meat. What are you doing, Card?
You, me. I offend you? You offend me. Oh, have you ever washed in the days since the Mer Queen raged across the land? And he will weave magic into these words, as this is a casting of vicious mockery.
Mm-hmm. 5.
On the save. Well, that definitely doesn't make it. So it's not much damage, but it's 8. No, 7. I can math. 4 plus 3 is 7. What am I doing? 5 plus 3 is 8. 4 plus 3 is 7. Yep.
Mm-hmm. And he also has a disadvantage on his next attack roll. Is that right?
Indeed.
Okay. So you shout these insulting words that are woven with arcane magic, and it kind of twists in his bestial mind. He seems pretty uncomfortable with that. Do you hold your ground? Do you dash for cover? What are you doing?
He charges straight at the thing.
It's atop a big standing stone. Are you charging up to the stone? Are you trying to climb?
It's
a winged creature.
He's gonna look for cover instead.
Mm-hmm. Okay, but you still go forward, and you're like, got yourself. You got like a shield and a longsword, rapier.
Yeah, longsword.
Okay, so you got a shield and sword, and you charge ahead, and you kind of like get up against these rock formations. Okay, sounds good. Robin, what about you?
So I'm within 60 feet, correct?
Mm-hmm.
And is Card within 5 feet of the Sphinx or the Manticore?
He's not, because the Manticore is up fairly high. The Manticore is up, we'll say, 20 feet above the ground.
Okay. Let me think what to do here. I think
it might actually be higher up than that. Let me go juggle over to a different document.
Yeah, I'm debating if I want to.
I'll say he's 30 feet atop a hefty standing stone.
Okay, so since it's been shown that Card has magic, would it be possible to potentially like do a silent image onto Card to make it seem like he's like getting larger than he is, so that maybe perhaps we can intimidate this Manticore?
Okay, and you make a image of like a giant Card rising up, like some kind of giant.
Yes.
And you do this in plain sight for the Manticore to behold. Mm-hmm. I'll just roll it's like an intelligence check, right?
Yeah.
Versus your DC. This Manticore does not seem the brightest or most intelligent of things, and it comes up with 5. So it seems to be a bit awestruck by what just happened there. Oh, giant! Faking as man.
And then I'll use my bonus action to go back into hiding after doing that.
Mm-hmm. Okay, cool. So that sounds good. The Manticore believes there is now a giant assaulting its lair here.
Yeah, as I do that, I'm gonna be like, "Go get them, my giant friend. Show your true form."
I not expect this. The Manticore takes to wing, and it begins flying off. I'll call that quite a success. Yes.
Victory. I'm gonna get out of my hiding, go up to Card, sort of let the minor illusion go away, or silent image, I mean, pat him on the back and say, "See, Cod, I always get you out of trouble."
Well, you have proven that no matter what, if I build you a stable, if I buy you a horse, it will be worth the expenditure.
Yes, absolutely. I'm gonna pull out one of the spikes in him and be like, "Well, hopefully you're all right."
Well played, well played. You each have achieved a milestone.
Perfect.
Okay, so that pretty well concludes the monster that was taking up residence at the quarry here. In actually looking through the quarry, you see that there are a few different chambers. You know, it's not a mine complex, but there are a few different chambers, and you see some rooms that obviously were once used for like administration, some storage. There was an area where stone was processed. There's one area that looks like it had a collapse, so you can't access one section of it. But overall, good, strong granite. It's just hasn't been in use since, well, a lot of guys died in the War of Three Dooms, and this just has been overtaken by wilderness since then. It could certainly be cleaned up a lot, and a new road or path, you know, beaten down to access it. But otherwise, it seems that it's going to function. As you all look through it, you feel a sense of accomplishment and potential and hope for for the benefit of utilizing this quarry once again. I'd like you each to make an investigation check.
All right. Investigation. That is something I'm not great at.
Same, actually. I got a 10.
I got a 19, which means I actually got an 18.
Okay. So Carderock, you have discovered a something. We're going to determine what it is that the Manticore had hoarded off of some looks like a couple of bandits that it had claimed and gnawed down to the bone. Roll a D percentile.
All right. These are always fun.
As I'm looking around in this quarry, I'm just going to be like, well, we found a lot of stone. Don't know what else is here, though.
Well, my friend, there is this. He holds up a 41.
41. Okay. One of the near one of the nasty bone piles, you find a cloak that was just discarded. However, you kind of like, give it a nice, wiping off, and you shake it out, and it's a pretty nice looking cloak. The cloak itself is of a fashion you have not seen before, and you've probably seen a fair amount in traveling throughout this realm. I guess you haven't seen the wide world, and you've heard tales of other lands. But the cloak is of a style you haven't seen. It has a sort of strange frilled collar, and even the color is different. It's a kind of aquamarine, and you don't even know what this material is. It's not made from wool. It's not made from cotton. It's not silk.
There's no tag that says like proprietary wool poly blend, machine wash only. Okay.
Indeed, there is no etiquette on it that is identifying its make or its its composition.
Does it seem magical?
A peculiar thing.
Does it look comfortable?
It looks quite comfortable. It looks comfortable. It looks like maybe like just the first image that comes to your head is what a noble woman or a woman of affluence might don this when she's going to a theater.
Oh, so it's like a woman's dress type thing.
It's a cloak, but there is, it's a female styled cloak.
I go up to Carl and I say, "Cod, I think that would suit you quite nicely."
Will it fit?
You can certainly put it on.
All right. We'll try putting it on. Does something happen, say, an hour later?
You transform into a woman. No, I'm joking.
Oh, please, Esper.
You put it on. I mean, you feel kind of like a dandy, but it is a thing.
I sort of bow and say, any man would love to have you at his wedding day.
And I should hope this is not enchanted with foul sorcery, that I might indeed see a wedding day someday.
Let's hope not. For
Nothing looks or sounds strange about me, does it?
I'm sort of looking. I say, you look a tad bit more beautiful. Just a tad, though.
So it is ensorcelled to give me beauty. That is not a form of wealth that I had thought to possess.
Well, we could all use a little bit more charisma sometimes.
Oh, indeed.
So okay, we'll just leave that at that. We'll wrap things up there. You all can trek back to Sumner Field. The Granite Grotto has been secured. There is that collapse that's blocking off one section. Who knows what's behind that? But that may be a tale for a different time.
Indeed.
And then from here, we'll be looking towards your characters traveling and meeting next session tomorrow, literally tomorrow in the real world when we play the main campaign. So you'll be joining up with the party. Noxaqualan crew, Kibish and company, the Stormbringers. People are starting to call these people different sorts of names as these local legends are becoming more and more widely known throughout the realm of Dreckengrim.
8 p.m. Eastern, 7 Central.
Yes.
What is this this Eastern Central that you speak of?
The voice of the gods on high.
We are the center of the world. What is this you speak of? All right. Thank you very much, gentlemen. We can stay and chat a little bit after I turn off the live stream here. And one final thing for everyone who's watching. I actually have made an expanded dungeon adventure based off of this location. It was way too big to put it into a one-shot, but I did want to put it out there for free. So go to my Patreon, Esper the Bard. I'll put a link down in the description here in just a minute too. And I'll put this like one-page adventure on there for free so you all can download it and have some fun with it. Okay, thank you very much, Adam and Nick.
Absolutely.
Indeed.
And I look forward to seeing your new characters in action in the campaign.
Oh, yeah. I think I'm going to have fun with this one.
Yeah.
I hope we meet more manticores that think they're sphinxes.
Indeed.
Well, he's still out there somewhere.
Yep.
All right, everybody. Catch you tomorrow.